when we actually came to write it, we had a grand plan. We were trying to present a version of mental illness that felt hopeful, but that felt real. We were both wary of talking about getting ill and getting better in a way that would be too simplistic. We want to try and express the ups and downs, the getting better, the falling ill again, the finding ways of coping, the acknowledging not coping. And we came up with a loose structure where we were done first part diagnosis and defining what mental illness might be, second part sort of crisis, third part sort of healing, and then fourth part to end cheerfully, relapse. and it's really funny that neither of us really noticed what we were doing there, and it's sort of, actually starting out with a quite conventional beginning, middle, end structure, and then adding a depressing ending onto the end of it. And what since we've done our first draft, actual draft that we sent to Fiona and Carruthers, we've been trying to think actually what we've lost something there. What have we lost, and what can we try and rediscover? So a comment that Fiona made the other night, I gave it a read through, and what came to mind was relentless when we were reading the stuff. I think my word was a little bit harsher than relentless. So we'd set out to try and avoid the traps of a so-called conventional narrative, but ended up forcing things into some sort of structure. Another side point, the trouble with trying to define depression, redefine depression, tweak things, redefine it again, is that things can get, well, a little depressing. And we did. We lost the joy of the conversation aspect that we'd had when we were emailing back and forth. I think I'll just read a section that conveys more of what we've been trying to do in getting a lightness of tone. So I'll read a bit from the end of the crisis section where we sort of write. Well, I should also explain that one of the things we tried to do was we'd written about our own experiences, very different, and we decided we'd try and write it from a singular I point of view, so to try and get the universality of these experiences, and you'll pick up on this. So this is the end of the section on crisis. 21. We all watch Bargain Hunt. The nurses and the patients together, united in spotting treasure. It's actually nice, which is more than it's served for not getting better fast enough. The woman from the bed next to mine throws a blanket across my shoulders. I call it a shield, huddle further into the couch, and for the first time in, well, longer than I think I understood before this moment, I feel safe. But I will never really be safe until I stop trying to destroy myself. The television is knocked to the side by nursing staff wrestling a man with a sharp knife to the floor. This place is chaos, just like me. 23. The psychiatrist asks how I'm feeling. I want to reach down into that moment and pull her out, to wander through this essay with us, take her by the hand so she can follow closely. What do I want to do when I write about mental illness with you? I want to be able to answer that question. Wandering back. 1. Can you remember the way, how we made our way back? Healing. 9. The process of becoming sound or healthy again. 2. At the end of his book on depression and lost connections, Johann Hari writes, I'm really wary of ending this book with a simplistic cry of, I did it and you can too. He says that wouldn't be honest. He says I was able to make these changes because I'm really fortunate. He knows. Because when I'm reading his book and finding much to think on in a calm and thoughtful way, much that makes sense, much that is in its own way hopeful, I also find myself thinking, but I just want to be better. I've felt shit for the past 5 weeks, and I just want to be better. You're never. The seduction of the story, the book, the essay with a beginning, middle, and end. There will be an end to this, there must be an end. I did it and you can too. Of course you did, Johan. There is honesty in saying that. But did what? What does it mean to get better? 3. Question. How on earth do I write about healing when at the moment things are really bad? There's a part of me that can't face revisiting our discussions that we had about coping, because I am not. I'm falling off a precipice. I do not feel safe in my life, in my home. 5. My therapist is at pains to remind me that I am coping. Sometimes in reminding I am coping, in some senses of the word, getting up, going to work, I have been worse. Maybe this is exactly the right time to be writing about healing, to be reminded what it is, honestly. And just what is it that you're scared of reading? I wonder if the hardest thing in revisiting conversations about coping is knowing that I have been through all this and I am not. The fear of never getting back there and into this now closed book before I've even begun. 6. After 5 weeks of feeling like I'm sinking in very dark waters, I click out of it just for an evening. I've been for a run. Me? Running? I say to a friend on the phone, it's funny because it's really difficult to keep a handle on what it is that is actually different. It feels just normal. After weeks of not, believe me, this will do. And I still can't get a handle on why this evening I might feel different. So where does that get me? Still powerless? Still going to sing? For what I understand of it, narrative memory behaves in strange ways. It averages things out. I remember 5 weeks of sinking. All I remember is pain. How do you remember fleeting relief in the face of that? 7. It's important to remember moments of fleeting relief. It is important to write about them. Thank you.